I know that these discussion videos that I've been doing for the last like week and a half or so, I've been getting a little bit, too much talking and a little, too less of PvP. And I want to go back to just doing straight PvP and commentating over it just for a couple videos because I know that you guys want to see that and I don't want to leave that behind. I think that that's a very valuable part of the channel. So what we're going to be doing today is going to literally just go out into Duratar and I'm going to film a few duels versus people in the beta and show you guys how Legion Frostmage not only works in the dueling environment, but also hopefully we'll be able to teach you a few things about like how the playstyle works and how you can change your spec based on who you're fighting, right? So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm literally just going to film my next like 6 or 7 duels, and we're just going to give it a shot versus a bunch of different classes and see how it goes. Win or lose, I'm going to show it. But before we get started, here's what I'm going to be running against most casters, most like ranged caster DPS with magic damage. Is Bone Chilling. Obviously, I'm not going to be playing Lonely Winter because the pet freeze is really, really valuable right now. Shimmer, which is going to give me 2 blinks, Incander's Flow, not Rune of Power, Ice Nova, which is going to help with that calculation on damage impact thing that I explained in a video not too long ago. Ring of Frost, Unstable Magic, and Glacial Spike, which does a lot of damage. And then another really important one is I'm going to be playing Prismatic Cloak. So Prismatic Cloak gives me a 1.5 second immunity, kind of like Evanescence did, 2 spells. And it causes the spells to miss for 1.5 seconds after I blink. But what's really nice is with Shimmer, you can do that 2 times, right? And you can also cast, or you can blink while casting, right? So I can do that. And it would count as immunity against really high damage spells. I've noticed that against Warlocks, Prismatic Cloak doesn't actually work against Spell Lock. So I'm still able to be interrupted, which is really harsh. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and just jump into the duels. This is my spec right now versus casters. And then if I fight melee, I would literally just click Dense Ice and probably like Netherwind Armor. And I might even click into Cold Snap, but Shimmer is really awesome and I like playing with it. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. Okay, so the first duel we're going to be going against is a Shadow Priest. I'm going to go ahead and open with the Polymorph so he doesn't gain momentum off. And I actually blinked and Prismatic Cloaked his silence, so he wasn't able to stop me from casting the Polymorph and wasted a cooldown. We're going to cast Ice Form and get a big Frost Nova. Oh, okay, so he didn't silence. He actually just dispelled. We got a big... What's it called? Oh god, I'm feared. I almost blinked it. It was off cooldown. I CS that Shadowmend, he should die pretty much instantly because I was able to get that interrupt. But I have a big Glacial Spike. Okay, so he did get this Dispersion off, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and Glacial Spike right as he gets out of it, and he should be crit pretty hard. And it looks like he is going to go down due to that damage. And he just wasn't able to do anything because I was able to blink away really fast. And also get out of his interrupts really fast and just use my momentum over his, because when I cast that Polymorph in the beginning, like that stops all of his momentum, right? See, he says, I hate that, I hate you get that shield every time. He's referring to that Prismatic Cloak. There's really nothing I can, or he can do about that. So, when I'm casting that Polymorph in the beginning, like, when I blink, it gives me that immunity to like silences and fears and stuff, and that allows me to stop his momentum in the beginning and get off those big shatters in the beginning, which forces his defensive cooldowns out faster. There's really nothing he can do about it. But next up, we're going to be doing this Fire Mage and just kind of trying it. I don't have Ice Block, so we're just going to give it a shot and see what happens. He's probably going to go ahead and try and Dragon's Breath me here, so I'm going to blink out of it. Okay, he did CS me. Prismatic Cloak doesn't work with interrupts right now, just a heads up for those who aren't quite sure why I was interrupted there. So we're going to go ahead and Spell Seal him there. He Spell Stole back in Ice Barrier. So we have 2 Ice Barriers right now in Ice Form. And we are going to get off a big damage. Oh god, he's still trying to Dragon's Breath me. So I'm going to go ahead and Frost Nova him again. He doesn't have CS for this. Let's Spell Steal his Crucible of Flame. And I don't have Trinket or anything, but he already had to force an Ice Block because I have more momentum than him. And in Legion, like, momentum is pretty much everything. There's really not much he can do. Okay, so he did go ahead and hit me with that. He has Combustion up. I went ahead and Spell Stole it and removed it, so he can't Spell Steal it back. And I think I could just Ice Lance him down. He won't be able to survive this, I don't think, because he doesn't have much. Trinket this, and then Ice Nova, finish him off, and it does look like he's going to go down without forcing any defensives out of me, since I didn't have an Ice Block. He did get my Trinket, though, since he hit me with the Dragon's Breath. But normally, as a Frost Mage, you shouldn't get Dragon's Breath. Fire Mages in Legion don't have Blazing Speed, so they can't really connect with you except for their blinks. And if you're good at kiting, if you're good at keeping that spacing away from them, then you shouldn't really get Dragon's Breath. So me getting Dragon's Breath at the end there was just a little bit sloppy. He could have probably sheeped me or something like that if my CS was down. I don't really remember. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump into the next duel versus another caster. I'm going to try and slow down my commentary a little bit for you guys because I don't want to go too fast. But you can notice that most of my duels have been going around these like Frost Nova Shatter combos. When I say Shatter combo, like getting them frozen while the Frostbolt's in the air. So that it counts as Shatter. But we're going to be fighting against an Affliction Warlock, and Affliction Warlocks are super tanky right now. Like, they're really hard to kill. So we're going to go ahead and try and open with this Polymorph. He is going to go ahead and counterspell it immediately, which is pretty good of him. He does go ahead and pop down a Dark Pact, so I'm just going to have to do as much damage as I humanly can. He did juke me there, so I'm going to get off a nice Glacial Spike. I have Prismatic Cloak for that UA. I've gotten through his Dark Pact. And it looks like I'm just going to have to spam as much damage as possible. In the meantime, I'm going to get an Ice Nova off this next one. And another Glacial Spike is coming very soon. He went ahead and put up Wall. So that means I'm going to Ice Block. I'm going to Ice Block this Wall so he doesn't, get any value from that. But Drain Life is really strong right now. Oh, I did juke that. Damn. I'm going to have to sheep him then. There's really not much I can do about that. He did Trinket it. I'm going to go ahead and sheep him again. Put up an Ice Barrier. My Ice Form is coming up soon. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a Frost Nova. CS that Drain Life. I'm already really low. There's really not much I can do. I can try and put out as much damage as possible, but like Affliction Locks in general right now don't die, right? Like their Dark Pact heals them for over 1 million of their health, which is over 50% of their health pool. Drain Life heals them for at least 7 to 9% of their health every tick, so every second they're just gaining health back. There's really not much to do against that. I think that I shouldn't have gotten interrupted. But, maybe I could have played that a little bit better, but I Ice Blocked the shield wall. I just think that Warlock's healing in general is really high right now, and it's hard to punish them. And Affliction Warlocks in general are just really strong. So, that's fine. I'm really not too worried about it. There's not a whole lot more I could have done. But, it's fine. Let's go ahead and give it another shot versus the Affliction Warlock just to see if it is me that made a mistake, or if the class is just in general too strong right now. Alright, we're going to give it another shot against this guy. I went ahead and reset my cooldowns, so I'm going to start with an Ice Barrier and try and juke his counterspell in the beginning, or at least just cast Frostbolts until he does... Okay, so we went ahead and counterspelled that, which means that I can go ahead and sheep him. He's going to go ahead and miss that Soul Effigy. I don't know if that does anything, but I actually Prismatic Cloaked his Soul Effigy, and he goes ahead and puts down a Dark Pact. I got a CS on him, which is really good. We're getting our Icicles now, and I'm going to get a big Shatter here. I'm actually going to go ahead and Frost Nova him and get that Glacial Spike off. So that actually was a crit, but it hasn't gone through any of his damage yet. Keep this Ice Barrier up, and he's Drain Lifing. Okay, so he's still full health, which is pretty ridiculous. We're going to go ahead and Arcane Torrent him. I'm at half health. I'm going to put down a Glacial Spike. He does have CS up, but he didn't use it. So I'm going to go ahead and Ice Block that. I'm almost dead already, so I don't know. I'll CS him, and then I'm going to go ahead and Invis and see if I can run away. It doesn't look like I'm going to get it off, so I think I'm just dead. Yeah, I don't know if there's... I mean, I got 2 Glacial Spikes and like over 10 Frostbolts on him, and he didn't even go down below 90% health, guys. So I don't know if there's anything I can do against them. Maybe they're just overtuned, or maybe they're supposed to be that tanky, but there's nothing I can do against that. Because he still had Hellstone. He didn't even use Wall. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that one, guys. There's not much else I can do, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and switch up our specs right now. So I'm going to go ahead and fly back into Orgrimmar, and we're going to play against a couple melee to test that out. As you can see, I'm going to switch to Dense Ice. Netherwind Armor, which reduces the chance that I will suffer a critical strike by 15%. Keep Ice Form, keep my damage, and we're going to go ahead and try against a couple melee with Shimmer, by the way. So I'm not going to be playing with Blink. So if I get stunned, I'm going to have to Ice Form it or Trinket it, which is fine. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Alright, our first duel is going to go ahead and be against a Windwalker Monk. They're really crazy right now. They do a lot of damage when they're using their Fist of Fury and their Rising Sun Kick. And what we're going to do is go ahead and Invisibility in the opener and see if we can get away from this guy. Open up with a Sheep on him and do our best. Like, these guys do a crazy amount of damage if they're able to catch up with you, and they also have self-healing, and it's just really hard to do much against them. But we're going to go ahead and hit him with this Frost Nova. So that's we've got a Glacial Spike here, which is really good, right? So we're able to get a big amount of damage off, and he's probably going to have to waste his Karma already. He did. We're going to CS his Chi Burst. He's healing up to full somehow. He is going to interrupt me, so I'm going to Ring of Frost him here, and he's stuck in this, I think. He doesn't have Trinket. I'm losing health somehow, I think. So I'm going to eat up a little bit, cast a Shatter combo, or like a Shatter Frost Nova before he gets out of that. We have Glacial Spike up already. Oh, he did interrupt me, so I can't do much about that. Cast an Ebon Bolt, and I'm able to also get off a nice Glacial Spike soon. Which means that he is going to actually Fist of Furies this probably, unless he doesn't get it off. Yeah, see, he is Fist of Fury, but I am in Ice form, so I'm immune to stuns, which is nice. We're going to blink away and get off this Frostbolt, and we're able to finish him off pretty handily because we had the momentum in the beginning. It was really, you know, if he catches up and gets me in that Fist of Fury with his cooldowns up, with his offensive steroids up, I lose. Like, I have to block, and it's really hard, and I actually didn't even have to block the Karma there because it was in a Frost Nova and I had distance, so I was able to play a little bit greedy and not waste a defensive cooldown when, you know, it could have been beneficial to just, like, ice block that Karma and finish him off there, but as you could see, like, his self-heals were pretty high, so he was at, I think, 10%, 15% when he Karma'd, but when he Karma'd, he started self-healing and he went back up to, I think, 80, 85%, which was pretty crazy. So I think not ice blocking there was really beneficial because it gave me a way to get out in case I didn't kill him at the very end there, right? So let's go ahead and give this a shot against a different class. I really want to duel like a warrior or maybe even a rogue. I think that Fury Warriors are really fun to duel right now, so maybe I'll try and duel like this guy or another Fury Warrior around here. But yeah, let's skip ahead to that. All right, we're going to fight against a Assassination Rogue. Now, they do a lot of damage right now with their dots if they're able to get it up. So I'm going to be playing with Dense Ice. I think that they do nature damage, which is pretty scary. But, you know, if I can somehow stop their momentum in the beginning with, like, I can Ice Form out of his cheap shot, that'd be really nice. But I can't Trinket anything before his blind, because if he gets a blind reset, he's likely just going to kill me, and there's not much I can do about that. But rogues right now, they do a really high amount of damage, and they're also very mobile, and they can survive with their cooldowns, right? So with Cloak of Shadows, he can survive and use that for offensive momentum on me, and that's really rough for me. But if I could somehow force his cooldowns out before he does that, before, you know, he gets that momentum on me and I have more than he does, then I should be able to win the duel. But, you know, we're going to give this a shot. I'm going to Ice Form out of this, blink away with a Shimmer. He went ahead and cloaked already. I blinked away again. He might have another Shadow Step. I don't know how it works, but... oh, okay, so he vanished and used... I'm going to go ahead and block here since... He used his cloak, and that's really what I wanted to block, and he also had a bunch of dots on me. So we're going to Ice or Frost Nova, sorry, I don't know why I froze on that. Put up an Ice Barrier, go ahead and get the Shimmer off, and get an Ice Nova into Frostbolt, into a Pet Nova, into... Okay, so he went ahead and kidney shot me there. And I'm going to Shimmer away while casting this Frostbolt, and he won't be able to do anything about that. See if I can get this Glacial Spike off. If I do, it's pretty good, because I can get a little bit more range and another Frostbolt off on him. We're going to put up Ice Form right here, try and juke his kick, do as much as we can, but see how these dots are all on me? This is doing a lot of damage, and my Dense Ice doesn't do anything versus that. But, you know, we might be able to finish him off here. I think... I don't know. It's going to be really close. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to do it. And look how much I actually have. That was a really close duel. But look how much Absorb I have left from the what's it called? The Ice Barrier. It's almost like melee don't do physical damage anymore. Like, if we're looking at my combat log, like, look at all this nature damage. All of this is nature. There's actually not one physical damage tick here except for like his auto attacks, which I don't even see any of that. Like, I'm scrolling up right now, and all I see is nature damage. So maybe Dense Ice isn't a very good talent unless you're fighting, like, Windwalker monks, Fury Warriors. Even then, Fury Warriors have fire damage, and Demon Hunters have chaos damage. So maybe Dense Ice isn't a very good talent versus melee. Maybe it's just not a good talent at all, and you just have to play... I don't like this tier at all, honestly. I think all of these talents are pretty bad because of, like, Temporal Shield shares cooldown with Ice Barrier, which makes it bad. Dense Ice doesn't work because all the melees have magic damage now, and Kleptomania is just bad in general. Like, it's pretty crazy. So maybe I should switch off of that. But we're going to do one more duel versus a melee and see how it goes. But that was a really close duel, and I think that I could have won if I actually had the right Ice Barrier talent, because I wouldn't have died there, and I was almost about to kill him. And, like, taking the damage in, you know, previous Ice Barriers too. But that was really close, and I think that I actually could have won that for sure. I don't think that Assassination Rogue has, you know, I think that they can beat you, but I think that his damage overall, like, was lower than mine. I think I was able to put out quite a lot and kite him pretty well. So yeah, not a huge deal, but let's go ahead and jump into the next duel. I can't seem to find a warrior, so we're gonna fight a rep paladin, okay? That's what we're gonna do this duel. All right, so we're gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna invisibility out. He's gonna divine storm me out of my invisibility. There's nothing I can do about that. We're gonna sheep him and go ham on him. Okay, what is that? What? Oh, okay, that's weird. I spell stole his shield? I don't know. I don't know what rep paladins do, guys. I suck. We're gonna shimmer away from him, cast this Frost Nova pet thing, keep casting Frost Novas, and just make him really sad. He popped wings, and we have a Glacial Spike coming towards his face at 100 miles an hour. He is in a bubble already because it automatically bubbles when you get low. He's gonna just keep running at me and not heal himself, I guess. Okay, so he decided to heal himself. We're gonna shimmer away again. He's stuck, and I'm going to spell steal this freedom, put down a flurry. He's slowed by 70% and finish him off with this Frost Nova combo. Boom, right there. And that does sum it up, guys, for this video. What we learned here is dense ice kind of sucks, and Frost Nova combos with ice novas and pet freeze. That stuff is pretty good, not too bad. Mages need momentum. Frost mages need momentum in the beginning, so try and get a sheep off in the beginning if possible. Use your shimmers when melee get close, or use your shimmers with Prismatic Cloak if you're casting something important, or if they're going to silence you. Not interrupt. Interrupt doesn't work for some reason with Prismatic Cloak. I don't know if that's intended, but use it against like stuff like Chaos Bolts, Lava Bursts, all that kind of stuff. You can Prismatic Cloak away, and yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So if you guys enjoyed this type of video where I just duel random people and talk about it, then give me a big thumbs up and also leave a comment down below. I'm taking your constructive feedback as much as I possibly can to improve the quality of my channel. So I'm doing the best that I can, but I also need you guys to pitch in some ideas, or obviously like if you don't like something, if you do like something, but yeah, whatever. You can subscribe to this channel if you want to see future Legion content. I do a bunch of it, and I will see you all in the next one. Cartoons out.